Hello, welcome. Fish here with another DCS Essential Guide to the F18, and in this one we're going to look at laser guided bombs. And we have currently loaded on two Mark 83s, GPU 16s, and we also have our ATFLIR pod. And we're going to take off and we're going to configure in the air. But before we take off, we're going to switch on our FLIR using our on-off switch on the right hand panel. There we can see it, and we're going to push for takeoff. Gear up, flaps up. I'm going to switch on our flight plan and zoom out of our HSI. We're going to offset a little bit from the target to give ourselves time to configure our laser bombs, and we're going to climb at full burn to Angels 10. In the meantime, I'm going to switch on air to ground mode, master arm to on, and on the right CCD we're going to select our FLIR, and you see it's not timed out. Let's offset a bit more from the target. So we've got a target at steer point 2, but we're going to have to focus in on the target because our waypoint 2 is just a general waypoint in the vicinity of our targets. So while we're climbing, I'm going to start configuring our weapon profile. So our mode is auto, our fusing is instantaneous, our code is going to be 1688, and we're going to step to the next missile, and it's also 1688. And we'll enter that. You can see there on the inboard stations, left and right. So we've climbed a little bit further than I want to in altitude, but that's fine. We're going to release from high altitude. Now we're 10 miles from our target area, and I'm going to extend a little bit more. So let's look at the configuration. Now we can see mode is auto, M fuse is blank, E fuse is instantaneous, drag is free fall, quantity is 1, and multiples of 1. So I'm going to release 2 at the same time, and to do this I'm going to click on the UFC button there. I'm going to click on quantity, I'm going to set it to 2, enter, and multiples of 2, and so there's no interval between them. Let's turn back around onto our target now, and on the right hand side we can see the laser code LTDR is 1688 and our weapon codes are 1688 both. So we're set to attack the target, so I'm just going to roll out at that steer point. So we're 16 miles away from waypoint 2, and we can see the carrot on the tape above. We're heading towards that. Might as well switch on our autopilot, which is going to be 221 for the heading selector, and parametric and heading selector on. And now we're going to select our target by clicking on the weapon designate button, the waypoint designate button, and we're going to change from TV mode to infrared mode. Everything on our weapons page is good, so we need to focus now on our FLIR. We're going to make that sensor of interest by sensor select switch to the right once and zoom in using my radar elevation mode up and elevation switch up and down on the HOTAS, and I'm going to zoom in fully. I'm going to clean up our hood by declutter, and I'm going to CCD, or not CCD, sensor select switch to the right once to uncage our sensor, and I'm going to move it into a position where we're going to attack some of these targets. So I'm going to attack these targets, and I'm going to pick one and sensor select switch to the right again to lock it, and now we have a Q on our hood for the release time of 42. So we're counting down now, and before I release, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to switch on our laser, and I've got the switch mapped to a HOTAS button. I'd recommend you do that, it makes it very handy if you've got a spare button to do it with. And we're 22, so I'm going to switch on our laser, and we can see our symbology has switched on the top of the screen there to laser arm. And we're 6 from release, so I'm going to hold the pickle in. And if we check outside, we can see both bombs are away, and I can look at the weapon. And they're both traveling hopefully to that target location. Going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, you can see them starting to guide in now. And that's a direct hit. Okay, here we are again, set up on a target, on the same target as last time. This time we're carrying GBU 12s, which are also laser guided bombs, and we've got a Litening 2 pod on board instead of the advanced targeting pod. And we're going to set up our avionics for the attack, and going to select our 82 LGs, set the mode to CCIP, fusing to instant, code. We're going to set for both bombs 1688, enter, step through to the next bomb and 1688, enter. On the UFC we're going to change our quantity and a ripple. The quantity is going to be 2 and the ripple is going to be 2, and then we're going to check our profile, mode is CCIP, fuse instant, quantity 2 and multitude of 2, and both bombs are 1688. And if we look on our FLIR page, our laser code is 1688. So we're good to go, and now we're going to make the FLIR the center of interest. We can see it's parked there. The situation awareness cue is to the 6 o'clock position, and the sensor switch is to the right, giving us our little diamond in the corner there. And now we're going to make our waypoint, which is waypoint 2. We're going to make it our target waypoint by clicking OSB 14, or sit there at push button 14. And we're going to change to FLIR mode by push button 1 on that screen. And then we're going to zoom in using our radar elevation keys as we did before. And this time in this mode we don't have to press the selector switch again, and you need to be careful to not slew the TDC cursor. So I'm going to slew now because it moves away from the selected target. So we're close into what we want there, and I'm going to wait until we get a bit closer. We're 6.7 miles away, 44 to release. and I'm going to, there's an option to zoom using the push button 6 key, or I have got that mapped to my HOTAS. I'm going to zoom in here to narrow, and now we're zoomed. Now in order to designate a target using the Litening pod, what we've got to do is we've got to press and release the TDC button, making sure not to slew it at the same time. So we've got a lock there, and I'm going to switch on our laser. We've got 11 seconds to release. I'm going to just fine tune our heading a little bit, and we're going to hold the pickle button now for the pre-release cue, and bombs should be away. Just checking on both sides, bombs are gone, and we need to continue to blast that target, and we can see our laser is firing. Now the laser is triggered, it's just counted down, and 4 seconds to impact. There it is. So I hope you found this video useful and interesting, and feel free to like, dislike, subscribe and comment, and until the next time, this is Fish Out, and thank you for watching.